Well, hello, Sunshine. Welcome back to the 21-day abundance challenge. Today is day 7. We are going to be talking about honoring your feelings. And this is so important because when we're working on raising our vibration, which is what we're doing throughout the whole challenge, we're going to do different activities that are going to get you into a higher space, right? Of feeling good more often or knowing how to shift your vibration when you don't feel good. But we also want to honor our emotions, right? We don't want to just suppress them and just pretend or just like override them and, yeah, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy when you really don't feel good. So most of the time, what you're going to be able to do is to identify, you know what, yeah, I'm feeling, stuck, or I'm feeling off today and I'm trying to get myself back and I can't really figure out how to do that. That's why you're going to use some of these different techniques to be able to shift your energy and get yourself into a space where you really do feel good. On those days where you feel like nothing's working, I can't seem to, get through this, I feel really stuck. I want you to ask yourself, even right now, to just how do you feel right now? Do you feel pretty good? Do you feel like, yeah, I'm okay? Um, do you feel, kind of neutral? Do you feel, kind of maybe excited about the day? Do you feel um, just positive overall? All of those feelings, that's being in a good high vibration. Neutral, anything above neutral is good. I'm good. I feel okay. I'm fine. Nothing really going on. That's awesome. Okay. Now, when you are feeling off, like we talked about, you can do, where you're snapping, right? Where you're gonna stop now and pivot. And a lot of times that's gonna work and you're gonna be able to shift pretty quickly. The majority of the time, like what you're looking for is to have a feeling of like, I'm okay, I'm good, 51% of the time. That is a higher vibration. That is you being in a space of, yeah, you know what? I'm attracting good. I'm okay. I'm fine. I feel all right. That energy, you want to, stay in that space most of the time. 51% of the time, half of the time is fantastic. Okay? That's what we're aiming for. But if you're finding yourself where you're getting kind of stuck, this is where you want to really make sure you're honoring how you feel and checking in throughout the day, which is why we're doing this, is how you can shift that and how you can get awareness when you're feeling off, when you're not in your normal state. For me, most of the time, I'm pretty like, I'm good, going about my day. You know, maybe I'm not like, ooh, super excited, but I'm not feeling really sad, or I'm not feeling really depressed, or I'm not like just feeling off. It's the times when I'm feeling off, or I'm feeling sad, or I just feel like I can't quite figure out why I don't feel the way I normally do. That's when you want to stop and you want to really focus on shifting what's going on. Okay. Now, when I had talked about that too, about doing the snap, that was on day 2. And that's a great way, right? Snap, stop now and pivot. Think about something else. Get yourself, focusing on changing directions, changing thoughts, changing your attraction, changing what, your point of attraction is. It's like, okay, yeah, I want to feel good. So I'm going to shift my thoughts onto good feeling thoughts. What are those? And for everybody, it's going to be different. You can think about whatever that is that makes you feel good. Um, Thinking about a person or a situation, right? Something I didn't share that I want to right now is when I was younger, swinging on a swing was it feels really good for me to think about swinging on a swing. I just feel light, I feel free, I feel happy, and that is a really good energy to cultivate. So if there's something that when you think about that brings you into that state, maybe being at the beach, maybe on vacation, maybe spending time with a loved one, with a pet, all of those things are going to help to raise your vibration. So you can hold onto that thought or memory if you need to shift into feeling good. All right. That's a great way to do that. Now, another thing too is Mandy Morris. She talks a lot about how to do like check-ins throughout the day. And that's another thing, like she really focuses on being able to pivot your energy and shift your energy. And she calls it, forget what she calls it. Um, I guess it doesn't really matter. If it comes to me, I'll tell you. But basically, she will have you check in like hourly throughout the day. How are you feeling? And that's a great way to do it. I found that to be a little excessive for me. I don't need to be checking in daily. 3 times a day was really good for me. So, honor what works for you. But just when you start to have the awareness, like I said, that you feel off, that's when you can do some of these different things. And when you are allowing yourself to recognize, right, the difference between where your normal like set point is. And I think I'm going to have an emotion chart attached. I don't know if it'll be with today or if it'll just like be in the course in general, but you can even Google emotions, right? So kind of getting a like a baseline for where you're at, for where your normal, regular energy is at. Do you naturally tend to feel sad the majority of the time? Do you kind of feel like you're, that you kind of struggle most of the time to be happy? That's what you want to be aware of. And again, there is no judgment, zero judgment. This is about being honest. This is about really be having self-awareness of how you feel so that you can get into a higher vibration and manifest the things that you want. So you definitely don't want to just be sugarcoating it and being like, "Oh yeah, I'm good, I'm fine. I'm not having any problems." It's the problems that are going to help us learn things about ourselves. It's the being upset is where the journey is. That's where we learn and we grow from our problems. We don't learn and grow from the happy, for the majority of it, from the good times. Those are great, and that's what we're striving for, but we're learning from the times that we're really struggling in, and from the things that have like brought us to our knees. That's where the deep growth has taken place in our lives. And so that needs to be honored and cherished. And getting to what the lesson was out of those experiences is where we're going to find our deepest transformation and our growth. So, as we're doing this today, what I'd like you to do, like I said, is kind of just tune in and see how you're feeling. Where are you at right now? Is there something bothering you? Or are you feeling okay? Now, what you want it today, what I want you to do is on a piece of paper, regardless of wherever you're at, if there's something that you're struggling with or that you've been worrying about, right? Or that you have been trying to shift the energy or your vibration of that has kind of made you feel like, not good, basically. I want you to write that on the left side of a piece of paper. So get a piece of paper and write down on the left side what the issue is, what you're feeling. And for instance, you can say, if there's anything you're stuck on, I want you to write that down. I feel stuck, right? I feel upset about X, Y, and Z. I'm worrying about this situation. And I want you to write all of the things that are connected with that. So just take a minute. You can pause the video and then come back, but I want you to first write all of those things down on the left side of the paper. I'm worried about my health. I feel sad. I feel lonely. I feel like, I'm not enough, or I feel like I'm never going to get ahead, or I feel like I'm, never going to meet this person, or I'm always going to be in this space, right? These are all normal feelings that we all have at different times in our lives. So we want to honor them. And I am a huge advocate of honoring your feelings and not just overriding them and pretending like they don't exist. So if you don't feel good, honor that. That's okay. You need to be able to verbalize that and to recognize it so that you can work through it. And that's what's going to raise your vibration, and you're going to feel better after you do it. A lot of times we want to like push it to the side and we don't want to feel that because it feels uncomfortable and because it takes work to, shift this. So this is work. It is not something that's just going to happen naturally. You actually have to do the work to make this happen, to raise your vibration. It will over time, it will become automatic. Over time, you will see results and you will see how, how the disparity in energy, you'll be like, wow, I used to live in this energy and you didn't even realize you were living in that space. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, now it's like, I'm always in this energy, this higher vibration, and I feel good the majority of the time. And then you're really going to notice when you don't feel good. I used to live in a very low vibration. When I was younger and when I was a teenager, I was sad all the time. I wasn't happy. And I mean, very rarely was I happy and it felt uncomfortable. I didn't even know how to feel good. And when I did feel good, it was like, it was very unnerving, actually. So I had to practice getting into feeling good and being okay with that and not being, when's the next, the shoe gonna drop type of feeling. So it definitely is something you have to work on and you're moving and you're raising the energy of where you are. We're all at different places, like I said, so there is zero judgment. Do not judge yourself on this. Um, so what you're going to do, like I said, write on the left side of the paper, go ahead and pause it. And now that you're back, okay, after you've paused it and you put everything on the left side of the paper, all of the things that you've been worrying about or that you're struggling with, you're writing that down. On the right side of the paper, you're going to write the opposite of that. Whatever statement or whatever thing is on the left side, you're going to write the opposite of that on the right side. So, for instance, if you're worrying about money, I'm worrying about money, I'm stressed about money, anything about money, you're going to write, I have an abundance of money. I am so prosperous. I have all of the, money in the world. I don't have to, worry. You're going to put it in a phrase of, or in a way of positive, right? Of a positive. You're putting that in a positive statement. Whatever it is on the left side that was an issue, you're going to put on the right side a positive statement. And again, I have an abundance of money. I'm so prosperous, right? I have everything that I need flows to me easily and effortlessly. I'm going to do another day where we're going to do mantras and we're going to have like statements and stuff like that, but just making it so that it is the right side of the paper is going to be a positive statement, like as if in the present tense. I have abundance. I am wealthy. Everything is working out for me for my highest and greatest good. If you're talking about, or if let's say this was a situation about your health, you're going to say, I am so healthy. I feel great. In the present tense, as if it is so right now. Whatever that is, you're going to put all of that down on the right side. I feel lonely. I feel sad. I feel depressed. I feel really good. I feel really happy. I attract loving and caring people into my life. I am a magnet for abundance. I'm a magnet for good, loving people. If you are feeling like you're not good enough or a situation isn't going to work out, put it in the present tense of how it could work out, right? Of how you want it to be as if it is so. You're going to say, I am worthy of all good things. I am worthy of my life being the way that I want it to be, right? I am worthy of all positive experiences. I'm worthy of whatever it is that you want to experience. So if there's a situation with a car, right? I'm driving an amazing car. I love my car. It's so cool. You know, I'm able to get everything finished and done and accomplished that I want to. Put all of that on the right-hand side in a positive statement. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Pause the video and then come back when you're done with that. Okay, so now that you've done that, we are going to move to this next step. Now, this is something that you can do in the evening. I want you just to be aware of this, but the statements that we did, you can do that at any time. Anytime you're really struggling, write that stuff on the left side of the paper and then write the positive on the right side. And what you're going to do is you're going to repeat it. You're going to say it out loud, all the stuff on the right side. You're going to go through that list and you're just going to repeat it out loud to yourself and try doing that multiple times throughout the day. Now, the other step to this, the other part of this process is when we go to sleep, we take what we're worrying about in our sleep time. So we don't want to take worries and fears and stress with us while we're sleeping. We want to resolve that before we go to sleep. So that's why do this exercise before you go to sleep if you can, because it's going to make a huge difference in, how you're sleeping and what you are a vibrational match to. When we are sleeping, we are um, bringing that energy into our lives. And when we wake up in the morning, we're still in that same cycle if we don't resolve it before we go to sleep. And that's why you can go to sleep. You want to be having dreams where, things are working out, the energy is working out, and where you can actually rest and have peaceful sleep. And when you wake up in the morning, you would have an answer, or you would have the energy is continuing from where you left off the night before. So if you're stressed and worried when you go to sleep, you're going to wake up stressed and worried too about the same thing, or in the middle of the night. If you go to sleep when you've resolved that and you're like, I feel really good, I know everything's going to be okay, and you take that energy into your sleep state, you're going to have more restful sleep. You're going to feel good, and you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to be ready to go for the next day. So 45 minutes before we go to sleep, right, is like 45 minutes to an hour. You want to stop watching TV, scrolling through your phone. You want to give yourself the time to decompress. This is really, really important, especially if you struggle with sleep or you have a hard time falling asleep or you wake up in the middle of the night or you're worrying about something or you just can't relax. This is a practice that you really do need to cultivate, and it is something that is going to take time for you to do. But if you actually commit to it, you are going to notice a shift. This will really make a difference. So definitely do this if you are struggling with something, and really notice how it does change the energy of how you feel about it. Now, like I said, 45 minutes before you go to sleep, you want to turn everything off, right? It's like you want to have some downtime. Put on some very calming music, write your list, but read the right side of the paper before you go to sleep. Have that, say that out loud to yourself and keep repeating the positive statements so that when you do go to sleep, that's what you're going to be thinking. I am so, happy. I am so free. I'm living my dream life. I feel so good. I attract loving and caring people into my life. I have an abundance of money flowing to me easily and effortlessly. I'm worthy of all good things. Those are the things that you want to have in your subconscious as you are falling asleep, because that's the program that's going to be playing all night long. And that is what you're going to wake up with, that kind of energy in the morning. So which one do you want to wake up with, right? You want to wake up with the lower energy and the sadness, or do you want to really make the effort and shift it into feeling good for the next day and being able to have peaceful and restful sleep, right? And then you're one step closer to manifesting more good things for yourself. All right. So let me know how this exercise, works for you. Let me know how you're feeling. And again, don't sugarcoat how you're feeling. Be honest about your feelings. Be truthful with yourself. That's the only way things are really going to change, and that's how you're going to grow. So be honest. And no matter where you are, it doesn't matter, because we're all learning and we're all growing and we all go through phases. We all have times where we're really sad, or, we're really struggling. And if you have, lost a loved one, and that is, you know, having you feel, less than how you optimal, I guess, of how you really want to feel, and you are sad, give yourself permission to be sad. Give yourself time to be sad. This activity, this 21 days, is a time for you to raise your vibration, for a time for you to feel good. And if you're not in a space of that, then take a break and come back when you are. But because we can't push ourselves, right, to feel a way that we don't feel. We have to honor where we're at. And in order for this to work, you're really going to have to be truthful about that. So this challenge isn't for you to force yourself to feel a certain way. It's to align and to allow yourself to slowly move up your vibrational scale, right? So you may be like kind of neutral, and then you might be like, you know what, I really don't feel good. You kind of went down a little bit and you're like, I just don't feel good today. That's okay. You know what? Tomorrow is a new day and we can shift our energy and our vibration and honor how you're feeling. You know what? Write on your piece of paper, I don't feel good. This is going on. On the right hand side, right? You know what? I'm open to changing my energy. I'm open to feeling this way, and let it be whatever it is for you. You don't have to push yourself or force yourself, but the more that you do this, the more that you're going to notice that your vibration will continue to increase and increase, and you'll stay in a higher vibration and a higher frequency the majority of the time. And that's when things will really start to flow. Positive experiences, things will just happen, synchronicities, miracles will occur in your life. You're just going to be in the flow. And that's the fun part, right? That's what we're doing this for. So I love you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please comment, share, let me know how this is going for you. And I will see you tomorrow. Love you.